Hello, my name is Jolanda Moore, and I am a parent advocate for school uniforms. As a parent, I have spent countless dollars in the past clothing my children. As my children got older and started to recognize the trending fashions of the time, it became more expensive. All parents can relate to the expense it takes to clothe our children. If you don't have kids, you may have family members who have to budget out how to keep their children in decent clothes. If you plan on having kids in the future, I hope that uniforms are mandatory across the United States when your children reach school age. As I said, as a mother of four and a grandmother of nine, two of them whom I am raising, I have found that uniforms can ease the financial burden of buying clothing. Traditionally favored by private and parochial schools, uniforms are starting to be adopted by many United States public schools. Overall, about 1 in 5 public schools, 21%, require students to wear uniforms. Here in my city, school uniforms are mandatory in all Grand Rapids public kindergarten through 8th grade schools. I believe school uniforms make it safer for students and reduces the socioeconomical disparities and encourages the focus of studies rather than the clothes that they and their peers wear. Let's talk about the socioeconomic disparities. First, the cost saving to parents. School uniforms provide a decreased financial burden on families to keep up with the latest trends in fashion. Some families may grapple with the financial burden of buying clothes, especially if they have more than one child, and are financially unable to keep up with the latest trends, which can lead to children being targeted when they are not dressed in the latest fashions. School uniforms have been proven to decrease bullying on peers that do not dress like others. I myself have experienced it with my grandchildren, that they won't wear certain shoes to school. Although they're in uniform, they still will not wear um, unbranded shoes, so they have to have Nikes. They have to wear Fila's, and it's simply because when they wear something that is unbranded, um, Brooklyn has stated to me her friends was like, "What kind of shoes are those?" So peer pressure is very prevalent, um, even about wearing clothes. And you want your kids to fit in. You want them to be popular, for lack of a better description. Um, Wearing uniforms when all the kids are wearing the same exact outfit, they are less concerned with how they look, how they fit in with their peers. Thus, they're more able to concentrate on their coursework. A 2 year district wide study after a mandatory uniform policy was initiated found a significant decrease in student involved public safety incidents. Um, More speaking, bullying and feeling assaulted, even by words and what they say. So I believe that school uniforms are necessary to even out the playing field. I mean, when I was in school, there were families that didn't dress as nice as I did, and those families, those kids were picked on by peers, and it creates emotional discontent for those children to not to even want to come to school because they simply don't fit in. Former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton advocated school uniforms as a way to help students focus on their learning by taking the clothing choices off the table and put the focus on school, not on what you're wearing. Procon.org. A school uniform can be a badge of pride. A uniform creates identity for the school. Uniforms also give students a sense of belonging to a particular school and create an identity for the school in the community. As students walk home from school, I can identify what school they attend by the color of uniform that they wear. A uniform can also help students to learn how to dress smartly and professionally and take pride in their appearance. A uniform policy requires boys to wear a belt, thus, there's no sagging. It also requires girls to have a skirt length that reaches their fingertips. This eliminates two of the trending fashions for this generation, and also promotes pride in oneself and how you look. And uniforms are all the same across the board: tan pants, white shirts, blue sweaters. Economically, for parents, this is a better choice. I can find school uniform shirts for $5 at almost every store in my city. Pants typically range from $7 to $10. This is a great decrease on a pair of silver tab Levi's that costs at a minimum $29.95. So economically, it helps the parents by saving money and being able to keep your children clothed efficiently, I guess I will say. And it also helps children see that we're all the same. No matter what you have on, you're the same. It's hard to do that it's hard for children to do that, when one has on a pair of silver tab Levi's and somebody else has on Meyer unbranded jeans. And we all have been children in school, and we all know how bullying can affect one, simply by feeling like an outcast when your peers don't like what you wear. So, in conclusion, school uniforms make it safer for students by omitting the availability for bullying, and it also reduces the socioeconomical disparities based on what a student is wearing. School uniforms reduce the distraction of peer pressure when it comes to students' clothes, thus sharpening the focus on schoolwork. In all, school uniforms are a good move. Thank you.